Welcome, everybody, to Inside Cornerstone. So glad to have you today. Missing Brett. You know, Brett's out there all over this country doing different things. And, of course, we miss him when he's not here. My name's Billy Coleman, the pastor at Cornerstone, kind of filling in. But we've got a tremendous list of guests today that's going to make this show be one of the very best. There's no doubt about it. And thank you to the sponsors that make this show possible. We greatly appreciate your support. We all know that as this time of the year, we're moving closer and closer to the event of the Christian year. And, of course, we talk a lot about every Sunday should be like an Easter Sunday, but we know the significance of Easter, and this is the day that Jesus Christ rose from the dead after being crucified for our sins on the cross, and everything changed, including the individual believers as we are, and the churches was born, and it's going to be packed all over this great country of people wanting to celebrate this. Our first guest today is Glenda Hill. She is our children's ministry coordinator and has so many things going on. We're all amazed at the number of activities that exist for our children and our youth, and really excited. And now Brett and I talk about this all the time, the commitment that our church has towards young people and we may even get into baby baptisms, and then we're going to have Senior Day coming up where a child goes through the whole program of the children's ministry, then into the youth ministry, and then hopefully is prepared to go out and meet a world that's very challenging. We all know that, and yet Christ, the relationship they have with Christ is enough to overcome those obstacles. So, Glenda, we're so glad to have you with us. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Now, let me tell you something. You know, I can get a little goofy sometimes.
Sometimes?
Yeah, that's good. I'll remember that at our next meeting. But, you know, when you used to get egged, it was usually teachers getting egged by students that didn't like them. They were not so good as students. They didn't like having to do the things that So what did they do? They took a bunch of eggs and they egged their house or they egged their car. And the people that walked out there and saw that were disgusted. They were mad. Some of them would actually call the police. I mean, getting egged was not a really good thing. Nobody really liked that. You have taken that concept, applied it to our children, and now getting egged is a tremendous blessing. Talk to us about that, will you?
It is so much fun.
Well, it was fun back in those days, just not for the recipients.
It's a good fun. Okay, so we take 12 eggs, and just like we had Jesus had 12 disciples.
True.
So there's
Yes.
12 eggs, and we go to people's house that need a smile.
Sure.
And we take the kids, and they go hide these eggs. And in those 12 eggs, there's candy in 11 of them. And there's one that doesn't have candy because the tomb was empty when they came to look for Jesus.
I get that. That's pretty good.
Anyway, the elderly people, we try to put it where it's close to where they can't, if they're in a wheelchair, they can get it, or if they can't get out far. And they just have the best time ever. The ladies are so excited. I got egged. And
I've seen those kind of conversations, and they're so proud. And I think what they're the most blessed by is knowing that not only the children, but the church is thinking about them, and they're part of the church. Mm-hmm. And getting egged is kind of a thing that happens to someone who's involved with the church. And I guess there's no magic line that says on this side you're qualified to be egged, on this side you're not. It's more just a call to help people that might need that at that particular time in their life.
Yeah, and we got 20 more going to be done this afternoon. So we went out. We were supposed to go Sunday out, but of course it was going to be raining, so we took a group out Saturday, a small group, and did a few of them, and it was so fun just to see the look on the people's face if they got called or if they didn't get called, or a text back saying, I just thank you. Sometimes we might think we're forgotten, but thank you for including us. So
I hear those comments. The children of the church came by and egged us. And I mean, they're very proud of it. They're blessed by it. Hey, tell me, How do the kids react when they're out there? Do they think they're sneaking around and doing
Yes,
something that
yes.
nobody knows about?
Yes. And of course, so for the first one we did the other day, their kids were just standing there, and one of the ones that had done it before, they're like, "No, we got to hide these eggs. Let's hide these eggs." We went to Sylacauga a couple of weeks ago and did the care house.
Oh yeah, that's a big deal in Sylacauga.
And some of the eggs had chocolate in them. We tried not to do chocolate, but we had a few that
man.
had chocolate. But we put those in I told him to put those in his pocket and do those first up close, where if the heat come out, it wouldn't melt them.
Yeah.
When we got back in the car, and he forgot to do them, so we had to go back again and do it twice.
Of course.
And here comes Robin, of course, out there, and Robin go, "You trying to egg me again?" She was just tickled to death, and they were just tickled. It was so fun.
So it's a win-win for everybody.
Yes, the
Those
kids.
that get egged and those who egged.
Yeah, they're all excited
Yeah.
about doing it. So.
Well, and that's one of the things that you brought in. I guess you've done this. How many years at Easter have you done this?
Last 3 years.
The last 3 years. So it's becoming a tradition, and obviously the kids love it. So, but that's only the beginning of the story. Where do we go from here? How about Sunday afternoon? Talk about
Well, let's
the
talk about-
egg hunt.
Talk about Sunday morning. We've
Oh,
got,
yeah, of course, Sunday morning.
Sunday
right.
morning is Palm Sunday, and the kids will come
That's
in
right.
at both services with their palms. They are so excited about coming in with palms and waving those. And then we got the cantata.
And that's a tradition of the church, and to allow the children to do that makes them a part of that service, and the adults are just soaking it all in,
Mm-hmm.
right?
But then in the afternoon, we have our big, huge egg hunt. So we have right now over 4,000 eggs.
Over 4,000.
Yeah, we're hoping to have
Yeah.
6,000. A couple of people didn't get to bring them
Hoping
Sunday.
6,000.
Yeah, Sunday they didn't get to bring them at church, so they're going to bring them tonight.
So what do you do there? Just cover the ground with eggs, get ready, set, go?
Yeah, well, we
And
got
fights break out? And
No, we've got little ones in one area, the bigger kids in another area. We've got inflatables coming. We got one that's shaped like a big ship. We got one shaped like a carousel coming.
It's an Easter fair.
Yeah, pretty much. And
Yeah.
now this year we're going to have a petting zoo. So
Have you asked David Hand about being,
I think you took care of that a while ago, but we'll see if David comes down. Maybe.
yeah, it's going to take a different kind of a cage, but we'll see.
I don't think that. Be sweet to him.
You taking up for David?
I'm taking it for David.
He's going to be on right after you.
Uh-oh.
So you think he'll take up for you?
Absolutely not.
We all love David.
We do love that. We love all the Davids. We got a church
I'm
full
not
of
going to
Davids.
pet him or anything, but
Well, if you put him in a
I-
cage, I guess you have to.
oh really?
Yeah.
I have to think about that.
Yeah. Well, we've got
So I'm
baby.
petting. Okay.
Yeah, we got baby chickens coming and baby bunny rabbits, and we got the Easter bunny coming. We're gonna have pictures made with the Easter bunny.
The Easter Bunny, or just a replica of the Easter Bunny?
It's the Easter bunny. It's
Of course.
Cornerstone Easter bunny. He's so pretty. He's so pretty.
Well, they'll love it.
They will. We're excited.
And that's over. You said about 3:30.
Yeah, it's gonna start at 2 and over at 3:30. If they want to come a little bit early to do some jumping, I think we got people out there about 15 till, manning each station. Try to keep it safe too. So
Now, do a lot of parents come to that? I'm assuming they all do, just about.
yes,
Right?
they can't get there by themselves. They got to bring them.
Well, when you see your child out there having a good time, and I know David Hand and I will talk about this, anytime we have the chance to have a good time, and I think that goes from under 100 all the way down to 2. Everybody seems to be blessed when they're at church, whatever it is, whether it's a worship service,
Yep.
a covered dish dinner. Sometimes we have singing groups that come in and do a little entertainment type stuff. But having fun at church is so important for young people.
It's
Because we
important for
hear-
older people too.
Yeah, it is for the older people, absolutely. But you know, kids gravitate towards things that are fun. And
do.
I guess, like you said, I guess we all do. But having a good time at church, I can picture a bunch of kids out there looking for the eggs and stuff. Their parents, everybody's laughing, having a good time. And hopefully they're not looking at each other's baskets, but only at their own, right?
Well, this year
Oh.
we have several of our members that actually put money in our eggs, so everybody's gonna be trying to
well,
look for money
that'll do
too.
it.
David will probably be looking for sure for that money.
I know it's amazing how fast these segments go, but before we do go, just reminding everybody, we've got ahead, we've got Palm Sunday, we've got Easter Sunday, we've got Confirmation Sunday, we've got Senior Sunday, Mother's Day, Memorial Day. It's just a list of special occasions every Sunday for about a couple of months. And again, that's exciting for the church. A large number of people will be coming in from different walks of life sometimes to be honored in those services. But that's really a wonderful time for church life, isn't it?
It's a good place to be.
We could talk forever. And I want to tell you how much I appreciate all you're doing for our children. You're doing a great job.
God, it's not me.
Yeah, I know it's God. It's very important. We all need to give God the glory for this, and we're excited about it. We got to go to a break. I'm sorry, Glenda.
It's fine.
When we go to a 3-hour special, I'll make sure that we have longer segments.
I got to go get girls and go egg some more houses.
Oh, we can go egging. That's true.
That's true.
Thanks for watching Inside Cornerstone for this segment. Appreciate all the things that are going on at Cornerstone for the children. And I know a lot of you that have other churches, the same thing's happening for yours. God bless the children, and God bless you for making these opportunities for them. We'll be back with more of Inside Cornerstone after these messages.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Medicine Express Family Pharmacy, located conveniently at the corner of Airport Drive and Highway 280 in Alexander City, offers friendly service, convenient drive-through service, and can answer any questions on prescriptions and vitamins. Local family owned with 30-plus years of pharmacy experience, they also offer compounding services, which includes personalized hormone replacement, therapies, and pain gels. And they accept most insurance and discount cards. Go see them today at Medicine Express Family Pharmacy.
Amanda Scroggins with RE/MAX Around the Lake will cover every inch of Lake Martin's 880 miles of shoreline to find your family's dream home. Amanda's experience is top-notch, and she is consistently a top 10 RE/MAX agent in the state of Alabama. Her love for her clients is sincere and from the heart. Call her today at 256-749-6634 or visit her website, amandascroggins.com today.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Welcome back to more of Inside Cornerstone as we move right along. Got a lot of great things going on for the children. David, it's really fun to talk about all the activities. And, they're not just fun activities. They're enjoying the opportunity to serve the adults, the older adults call. I don't want to really categorize them, but they're enjoying being a part of those services, aren't they?
Oh, they love it. They just love being a part of the church and the whole in general.
Yeah.
So it's not just about the Sunday and Wednesday nights. It's about what's the church does every single week.
Right.
They like to just be involved.
That's right.
So
I want to brag just a little bit on the, which I'm not sure that's biblical, but I want to brag a little bit on the way the church leadership, and I'm talking about the finance committee, I'm talking about the board, those that have been chosen to be chairman of committees and things like that.
Right.
How I've noticed in our staff meetings, you've mentioned this more than once, how much you appreciate the direction. No, that's not right. Not just the direction, but the way the church is handling it. we love having 70 or 80 children. We love having 70 or 80 young people in the church. But now, let's be honest about that. To offer the activities that you have to offer, and you know this better than anybody, you've got to have some backing in the terms of funds to be able to do it. And the impression I get is the church does everything they can. They're prudent. They're not out there, they're being smart about it, but they try to bring to those programs, yours, for example, the things that you need. And I think they do a wonderful job with that. What do you think?
It's like I told you, and I told our SBRC chairman several months ago. This is going on my 13th year here.
13
It's
years.
hard to believe. Here, 9 years at my previous church.
So you knew me at
22
15
years.
when I was coming.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
But every person who is in ministry prays for that they go to a place that the church supports that ministry or all ministries 100%. You know, it's a youth ministry dream to have a youth pastor to go somewhere, and they support financially anything that you pretty much need to be successful. They're there for you. So I told you, and I told other people, the day I retire and just say, hey, I'm done. I feel like God's called me somewhere else to do something else.
Yeah.
It'll be the day that I just go out and tell any youth pastor that want to come to our church, you will be successful if you put the work ethic in, because the church is going to supply you with what you need to be successful. And hey, that's the biggest compliment I can give to our church.
I believe with all my heart that our congregation loves seeing the youth and the children involved in anything that we do. You know, we had a service not long ago, and thank you for doing that. We had a youth-led service. I mean, the young people did everything.
Right.
We had a young lady that gave as good or better of a sermon as any adult would ever give. We had kids that were singing and doing everything in the church. And I swear, you're not supposed to swear on a Christian program, but the adults, I think, loved it. They loved it to have the youth up there, and they were just overwhelmed with enthusiasm about it.
I think so. You know, your adults don't sit back every week and see what we see. What I see.
Well, true.
The level of commitment that our youth have and the growth that they're doing, getting closer to God and wanting to share God. You know, our church usually don't see that but a few times, you know, here and there. But it's a joy to me, like tonight, when I sent out a topic that we're going to talk about, and I had 3 or 4 youth text me and said, let me have a devotion on it.
I've been around youth enough to know that's a blessing right there now.
You know, Tuesday mornings when we have our Bible studies at Hardee's and Chick-fil-A, our boys go to Hardee's and the girls go to Chick-fil-A. That is student-led. You know, we have them do devotions. Our Monday nights, middle school Bible studies, Sarah's does a great job.
Sure.
But it's all of them being involved and want to teach and learn, and it's a great thing.
I know one of the challenges that we've had is coming up with good transportation for the additional number of youth that we have. I know it's almost a nightmare for you going down to the big retreat that you do usually down in Florida and stuff like that. You know, you got to get those kids down there some way.
And it's costly now.
Yeah, I know. Our church jumped in there and did a due process to come up with the best plan, not only for the youth, but for the church, and get the most out of the investment. And I think the goal is 3 vans, 3 new vans. First one's already on campus, right?
Right. The first one's already on campus. You look back at what we've done the last few years. We presented a problem that we said, hey, our youth just needs their own space. We went and they built a wonderful big house, what we call a big house.
Yes.
Great facility for our youth and teenagers to meet. Now we presented another problem. Hey, we got so many youth now, it's hard to get them somewhere. You know, we got 3 or 4
You
vans.
can't stop doing the stuff that got the kids there.
No,
right?
no. You know, we got 3 or 4 vans that we've had ever since I've been
Right.
here, and they just wore out.
Yeah.
So how do we get kids? And today it's hard to rent vans. You pastors all over the United States just have trouble renting vans.
Well, it makes sense. Yeah.
And then also, if you want to rent a charter van, it's $7,000 a trip. Well, that eats up a budget pretty fast. So
There's no church that can survive that for long.
no, and then many trips we do, you know, and
Right.
then then again we go to our church and say, hey, we have a need, and within 3-4 months they made it possible.
Mm-hmm.
Went out and bought another van for us.
And I predict
So-
before this year's over, you're going to have the big house paid for.
I'm praying
We're
hard.
moving in that direction.
I'm praying hard. We're having a note burning. Ain't that what you call it?
Nah,
At the
it
end of
sounds
the year.
good to me.
I would love to have one December or January. I would love to have a note burning.
Well, we really appreciate the church and in the way that they support. That's fantastic. And
Yeah.
you've got a senior day coming up. Talk a little bit about that.
May 18th will be our senior Sunday. All our seniors will be presented in front of the church, and they'll talk about what maybe their plans are in the future. Then we'll have a luncheon for them at 11:15 in the big house, because that's their place. And then we'll have a lake day that afternoon. We'll go to someone's home on the lake.
Sure.
And do a barbecue for them, and just
What a day.
celebrate just a fabulous day. And I just got to say this, most churches, you lose your 11th and 12th graders. We're very, very fortunate that our 11th and 12th graders is still a major part of our church.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I love it.
Something that I don't think I won't do it. I've done it so far. Is I'll probably get those seniors to get up in the stage at the arbor, and I get them to look out there at the church and remind them that the adults, and
Right.
whoever's sitting out there, that's what makes this possible for you guys, and not only in the church and graduating from high school and all like that, but we have a time where the church will rise and appreciate them, and then the seniors will be able to appreciate the people. And you go back to our baby baptism.
Right.
So we take this baby that's 2 months old, 2.5,
Right.
and we have the church take a vow. And the baby doesn't know what's going on. We're just trying to keep it from crying.
Yeah.
It doesn't know what's going on, but we look out there and have the whole congregation stand, and they promise that they will not only provide a church with the opportunity for them to know Christ, but they will set a personal example in
Amen.
their life that our children will look at them and see Christ living in them. And then, hey, 12 years later, they're standing up there as seniors, and they've kind of come full circle in a segment of their life at least. And hopefully you've got a college ministry going
Right.
now.
Yeah.
And we want them to know our support for them keeps going, right?
Oh, 100%. I still stay in touch with our college kids, even those who you text me the other day and said, I'm 40 years old now when I was in your first youth group. I'm like,
Wow.
wow. But we still communicate with each other.
So you weren't even born when they began?
They was 17, 18-year-old when I started youth ministry. So now they turning 40.
Can you do the math on that?
That tells you how long I've been doing youth ministry. That's what. But
You still enjoy it though.
But I do. I love it. Like last night, I was sitting at the ball fields. I just still love that just connection you have with a teenager. But going back to the baptism, we as a church make a promise to be there, support them throughout their years in our church, and that's buying the big house, buying the vans. That's what we promised to do when they got baptized.
Yeah, it's just fulfilling a promise.
Right. So.
And something else, David, again, I'm not sure brags in the Bible, but I love the fact that you go to the activities that I would say that time-wise at least, the biggest part of your commitment is going to watch these kids and the things they're involved in, and they notice that.
Oh yeah, like I put on our Facebook post last night. It's a joy for two girls to come up to you last night, tell you thank you for being here. Can we get a picture to put on a social media page? Oh yeah, I love that. So yeah, to me,
Complete support.
a lot of times ministry is done away from the church. I've always believed in that. Some of your greatest ministry is done on ball fields and, and places like that. I love ministry in the church. I love doing Bible study, blah, blah, blah. But I enjoy being out there where the kids are at. So,
Thanks, David.
hey, you're welcome,
Can't
buddy.
believe it's
Enjoyed
seven.
it.
How fast did that go?
Man, that was
What?
quick.
I'm going to tell you, Brett, we might let you back on the show. We'll for sure. But you're not going to beat stuff like this.
I didn't even I forgot he wasn't here. It just went that
I'm so
good.
glad to hear it.
It went that good and that fast. I'm like, oh, God, yeah, Brett was used to be here.
Nothing personal, man.
Yeah.
I hope you're having a good
We
time
good.
wherever you are. But we're having a good time here. How are we going to beat this? We've got the
We got
infamous
the
Jimmy Shivers.
We got the legend.
He's coming up here. He's going to actually be on this show in just a moment.
I don't know what you had to pay or whatever you had to get
We
him
don't
up,
have to talk about that, though.
but the legend is coming.
The legend is coming.
He's
We'll
coming.
be back with more and better. We'll see. But we'll be back with more. Isn't this fun?
Amen.
Thank you for watching Inside Cornerstone. To use poor English, we ain't done yet.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Amanda Scroggins with RE/MAX Around the Lake will cover every inch of Lake Martin's 880 miles of shoreline to find your family's dream home. Amanda's experience is top-notch, and she is consistently a top 10 RE/MAX agent in the state of Alabama. Her love for her clients is sincere and from the heart. Call her today at 256-749-6634 or visit her website, amandascroggins.com today.
Medicine Express Family Pharmacy, located conveniently at the corner of Airport Drive and Highway 280 in Alexander City, offers friendly service, convenient drive-through service, and can answer any questions on prescriptions and vitamins. Local family owned with 30-plus years of pharmacy experience, they also offer compounding services, which includes personalized hormone replacement, therapies, and pain gels. And they accept most insurance and discount cards. Go see them today at Medicine Express Family Pharmacy.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Welcome back to Inside Cornerstone. So glad to have you with us today. Last two segments. Jimmy, I know you were sitting back there listening to it. Yeah, I know you're very much involved in FCA. You're part of our FCA board. You go out and do devotionals for our teams in the county. You know, it's such a blessing to work with children and youth.
I feel like that's where God has led me to go.
I know you do. That's great.
And where he leads, I must follow.
I agree. You know, Jimmy and I are both legacy builders, and so you can't be in legacy builders and not feel, number one, you're going to be great friends, you're going to learn how to lie, and you're going to know how to eat if you're in legacy builders. Some of us lie more than others, maybe, but all of us eat. but we become great friends. And we had a neat program, I thought, at Legacy Builders this past time that we met. It was about a group of people basically centered in Clay County. And we're going to talk a little bit more about Clay County in just a few minutes. But they're trying to reach across the world into Africa, into Kenya. And they have established a ministry there that takes those underprivileged children and abused children and place them in a school setting that teaches them about Jesus and gives them an education. And they have built schools up until the junior high, and they're trying to raise money to go over there and build a high school for these kids so they can go all the way through and even go to college and get a college degree, hopefully come back to the community and serve them that way. I had the privilege of going over and speaking to their board, I don't know, a month or so ago. They're good people. You know, out there, a lot of times we're a little skeptical about that sort of thing because there is an in-between person that we never meet, and they're getting paid a lot of bucks to do that, and we're all looking for something that we can contribute to. Jesus told us to do that, not to just be concerned in our community, but all around the world. But we want to do it and not know that the money part of that is being taken advantage of by middlemen and stuff like that. These are good people, and it's a real program that I think is the kind that would interest us. Talk a little bit about your impressions and some of the things you like most about it.
Well, one thing that stuck in my mind when she was talking yesterday about this particular mission.
Miskell, right?
It's called Miskell's Children's Center of Hope.
Right.
And this is named after the lady's mother that spoke to us
That's right.
yesterday. And the interesting thing that she said to me, or that I really picked up, is these children are allowed to go up to the 7th grade
Right.
with them. If they don't get this high school, those children will have to go back to public school. The possibility of them having Muslim teachers
And harsh disciplinary
and hard
actions.
disciplinary
Yeah.
actions and all against them, then basically their early education is going to be, I don't know, for lack of a better
Yeah.
word,
Not necessarily for nothing.
it's not for
But-
nothing, but it could be for, it could go backward.
And it's going to be a tragic fall for them if they have to do that. But don't you love the fact that they're taking these kids? They take them from 2 years old, right?
Right.
They bring them all the way through the program, and they want to take them all the way to college. And they have some tremendous talent as far as
Exactly.
college students go in that group of kids. And then let them get a college degree and change the dynamics of the family unit in that area to areas they've never been before. I love the plan, don't you?
I love it.
Yeah.
It's great. It's a lot of thought has gone into this, and one thing that earlier I talked to David about is we know that Christ is coming back,
Definitely.
but it plainly says that he will not come back till all hear it,
Yeah. Right.
hear about him.
Right.
This is a way that we can, as Christians, we can look forward to that day when I'm driving down the road and he picks me up out of the truck and I go hug him in the air.
Yeah.
This is helping spread the gospel
Uh-huh.
in a region where they may not hear the gospel.
Not as easy to be a Christian.
It's
in that
not easy to
environment.
be.
Mhm.
As I mentioned earlier, there's they've got the Muslim influence there. They could very easily, by being Christian, they could very easily be killed. Their families could be killed.
Right.
If they go back into these public schools, there's 90 students
In a room.
to the room.
Right.
What kind of education are they going to get like that?
That's right.
And
And what kind of indoctrination?
and what kind of indoctrination?
Yeah,
Then
right.
you know we've and I'm sorry. At the 7th and 8th grade, 9th and 10th grade, that mind is very influenceable, if that's a word.
It is.
You know, they can really turn things around.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, they influence them to go another way, to
Sure.
leave Christ,
Right.
to forget about Him, and we need them to work in their country.
She played tapes of them singing songs about
Exactly.
Jesus, and you couldn't fake that.
No,
The look of Christ was in their eyes. Those children were excited about being a follower of Christ and serving Christ. It was a beautiful thing. And, you know, we have a lot of people that watch our program, and there's a lot of people, and I think a lot of churches, we're fixing to talk about one in just a second, that would like to get involved with a true mission. I mean, one that has no in-betweens, that goes, and you know, you can actually go on some of their trips over there and be involved in the construction of a school. And when we think about a school, it's not like the new Benjamin Russell High School. We're talking about a smaller facility that we can teach kids and prepare them to go on to maybe college and learn, get a degree there and get a job that helps their community. So it's not that. If you're looking for that, if your church is looking for a mission project that has the kind of qualities we're talking about, let us know. A lot of you know Jimmy, a couple of you know me, Legacy Builders, everybody knows somebody from Legacy Builders. We can get you the information. It's obviously any gift is a tax deductible one. They meet all the criteria for that. But if you want to hear more about it, I said that before we hit the end of the set. We got more to talk about, but let somebody know, and we'll get you the information. I think Legacy Builders was sold on it.
I think you're right.
And
I think
before they
are.
came to Legacy Builders, they spoke to Cornerstone Women. That's about 40 fine ladies, and I think they're sold on it. Serene's already talking about going there. She's always wanted to go on a mission trip. I mean, I can't really think of a better one than that.
Right.
Can you?
It's you know, it's just wonderful, and if we can get that message of Christ out to the world, then we get to leave this cruel world quicker, if that makes sense, and we understand that everything's going to be better when we do. And the thing about it is too, it doesn't matter the amount.
No,
Anything
it's appreciated.
is appreciated,
right.
and anything will help them
Yeah.
with their ministry.
Mhm.
And so don't think any donation is too large or too small.
No.
One thing I would like to add, kind of is not to take away from giving to your church.
Oh, absolutely. No.
This is
absolutely
in
not.
addition to.
That's right.
And I can tell you from experience, you can't outgive God.
No.
If you give it and you give it to God, He will bless you. Don't do it because you want a blessing from Him. Do it because you want to bless somebody, but God will bless you
Right.
for that.
And this mission is not associated with any church. It was actually started in the Southern Baptist, but it's independent of denominations.
Right.
That's not what this
Right.
is. And most churches have mission funds within
Right.
their budgets, and they're just looking for one. And we know of one, and before we have to leave, to the next segment, which will be a message from a couple of weeks ago. Let's talk about Hatchet Creek. What a wonderful story is. Several years ago, I had the opportunity of going to Hatchet Creek to speak for one Sunday. Found out that they didn't have anybody to do their services. You know, we're fixing to go to another break. I think we'll do the last segment on Hatchet Creek.
Okay,
You want to?
that sounds good.
Isn't it neat to see things evolve as you watch? We were hoping we could do it one. We wanted to get the other story in, and now we're going to get it in. So hang in there with us for one more segment, and we'll be back with more of Inside Cornerstone after these messages. Thanks for watching.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Medicine Express Family Pharmacy, located conveniently at the corner of Airport Drive and Highway 280 in Alexander City, offers friendly service, convenient drive-through service, and can answer any questions on prescriptions and vitamins. Local family owned with 30-plus years of pharmacy experience, they also offer compounding services, which includes personalized hormone replacement, therapies, and pain gels. And they accept most insurance and discount cards. Go see them today at Medicine Express Family Pharmacy.
Amanda Scroggins with RE/MAX Around the Lake will cover every inch of Lake Martin's 880 miles of shoreline to find your family's dream home. Amanda's experience is top-notch, and she is consistently a top 10 RE/MAX agent in the state of Alabama. Her love for her clients is sincere and from the heart. Call her today at 256-749-6634 or visit her website, amandascroggins.com today.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Bingo.
And we're back with more of Inside Cornerstone. Like I was saying at the end of the third segment, we seriously were considering putting a message on for the fourth. We got to tell you this story, though, and I think you'll appreciate it. And so here we go. As I was saying towards the end of the third segment, I speak at all kinds of churches. I'm not into denominations. I pastor Cornerstone now, but that's another story. But we're going to talk about that just a little bit. So I'm helping a little church out in Hatchet Creek. Didn't have anybody to be their pastor at all. I went there one Sunday. They asked me would I consider speaking for more Sundays, which I was. And then from there, it went to be a pastor. Now, Hatchet Creek Baptist Church comes from a Baptist association. I may be the only, well, I don't know this, and it's nothing to brag about, but I'm one of the few guys that pastors a Methodist church and a Baptist church at the same time. I didn't know how the Baptist Association of Clay County would run with that. They are unbelievably supportive. I mean, they come, and when they're a part of our service, they love the fact that I'm there. They know that I don't care about any particular denomination. I care about all. And so we got going. And I was and still am, to an extent, the pastor of Hatchet Creek Baptist Church. Great group of people, close to where my mom and dad bought a farm in Clay County when I was 14 years old. Never lived there, but, you know, like most people, it's my favorite piece of property on the earth. So my sons, my grandsons, granddaughters, I mean, we still go out to the farm. We love it out there. So 2 miles from the farm, I'm liking it. Well, Cornerstone came up. We all know about what happened to the United Methodist Church, how it split, and they were looking for somebody to kind of lead the pastoring part of what is now Cornerstone, this show, Cornerstone. And so I was glad to do it, but there was a problem. The problem was that the services at Hatchet Creek were at 11 o'clock. And for me to be able to do Cornerstone, and I absolutely felt led to do it. Wesley was coming off, my son was coming off of his heart transplant. I'd already made a promise to God, if you got something you want me to do, just tell me and consider it. I'll do the best I can. It'll be done. And so you got it. So I'm standing up there in front of these really nice people. We're all crying. They're crying and I'm crying. They're crying because they may have to shut their church down. I'm crying because they may have to shut their church down. So we're all on the same page. So I look at them one day and I say, hey, if you'll eat your lunch before church instead of after church, this might work. If you would consider having your service at 1 o'clock. Now, say I do the Arbor service at 9, I do Green Street at 11. Green Street is over at 12. I can get there. I mean, I barely get there, but I pull in there about 5 minutes to 1. They're still having their church open, which means a lot to these people. Now, I also realize that there would be times because of the activities we were having going on at Cornerstone that I would need to miss. Didn't need to, for them not to have church on those days. First off, that would have been a real problem for me, probably more for me than them. So I called Jimmy, my good friend here. I explained to him the situation, and he's going to have his chance. He's fixing to get to talk, by the way. And he jumped on it. And now if Jimmy's got something going in his family, or if he has to have some kind of little surgery or in the hospital or something, I cover for him. Vice versa, he covers for me. And regardless of that, he still does the fourth Sunday. So they're entertained and blessed by Jimmy sharing his heartfelt, and I mean heartfelt, love for Christ with them on the fourth Sundays and sometimes other Sundays as it goes. And so they're still having church. They're coming to the Hatchet Creek group is coming to our Easter cantata, which is this Sunday. Palm Sunday at Green Street at 11 o'clock. They're coming. They're going to come to some of our church services during the week. I probably need to tell everybody that, Jimmy. That was a good time. At 12 noon and 6 o'clock in the evening, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And we will have lunch on those days after the service. They're going to be about 30, 35 minutes long. Then we'll have lunch. And on Friday, one service, and that's our Good Friday service that night at 6. And Hatchet Creek will come to some of those. In the meantime, I'm assuming that we'll have a service on Palm Sunday and Easter Sunday at 1 o'clock, like we always have had that for them. But Jimmy, it's a testimonial to hear you talk about where you were when this happened. I call you up, I tell you what's going on, and I honestly and truly believe that you feel led to do this.
Exactly.
And I want you to, I'm going to shut up, which is a good thing, and you just talk about your personal experience as far as that goes, and I'd like for everybody to hear it.
Well, thank you, Billy. And it is an honor
I
to
know.
serve up there.
I know that.
Those are loving people. They really care about Billy. They really care about me. They care about our families.
Yeah.
We are a part of their family now. Their church family, their family. We a big part in it. But I'm going to go back a little ways.
I wish you would.
Several years ago, I was in a little church that's not existent now. It's Comer Methodist Church. And I felt a calling. I didn't know what it was. My mother was a very, very, very devout Christian woman. I went to her and talked to her, and I said, Mama, I'm being called. I said, God's talking to me, but I don't know what it's about. I don't know if it's to speak. I don't know if it's to do. I don't know. I said, but there's a tug. And I said, it may be to preach. And she said, no. And I said, well, I don't know. Well, that tug, God ain't going to leave you alone.
I've heard that.
Well, for you English majors, he ain't going to leave you alone.
Right.
But that tug continued. Well, we had a program in the Methodist Church, in the United Methodist Church, for lay speaking.
Right.
You go to a basic class, you can speak in your church. You go to the second class, you can speak at other churches.
Right.
I did that, and I spoke at some other churches and all. And then you asked me one day if I would be interested in going up there and speaking, and I was somewhat skeptical about it. Like you said, I'm Methodist, belong to a Methodist church, and speaking at a Baptist church. The first day I went, I think then, if I'm not mistaken, you still had an associate pastor, and you was doing two Sundays.
Matthew, before he took a church.
Right.
That's right.
And you had Matthew, and you did 2 Sundays, and I did a Sunday, and I believe Jimmy Yates did a Sunday.
That's right. I forgot about that.
And so, and then when Matthew got his church, thank God, I think he's doing wonders for the kingdom.
I'm sure he's
he's like sitting through one of his messages, like sitting through a Bible study.
Yeah, true.
But he's doing a lot for the kingdom. But then you asked if I would be interested in doing one Sunday, and I did. I would do one Sunday as long as we could do it at 11, and then when it became 1 o'clock, great. Let's go on with it.
Yeah, at that time I was going when Matthew was speaking. Right. I would go down there. You're right. Yeah.
Right. And so, it's just, it never ceases to amaze me what God can do. And his timing. His timing is always on time. My mother passed away about 2 years ago. She passed away just before you asked me to do that. So I think God was saying, okay, it's your time. Your mother's gone. It's your time. And nothing against my mother.
Right, of course.
I know that, she believed in everything, and I know where she is today. And I'm probably where I am today because of her. But there again, I think God said, Jimmy, this is your time. This is where I want you to go.
Well, Jimmy, I know how much the people love you there, and I so appreciate you doing that, and I believe God's in the middle of all of that. And I've noticed that the people there at Hatchet Creek, they come up. Our choir went down and sang down there.
Right,
they have the best fish fries. Have great fish fries up there.
That's right.
And they're just really good people. And I wish we could go on. I know we're out of time, but this is a special show today, and I'm so glad that Jimmy got to come and we could kind of share that story, because I just think it's something you probably enjoyed listening to. There's so many good churches everywhere, and it doesn't matter if they have 650 people coming or they have 7 or 8 or 10 people coming. We're all there for the same reasons.
That's right.
So let me tell you how much I appreciate you watching Inside Cornerstone, not just today, but all the shows that we have. We really appreciate it. I hope that you have a fantastic Palm Sunday, and just know that God's with us and that Christ died for us.
Amen.
God bless you. Thanks for watching.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Amanda Scroggins with RE/MAX Around the Lake will cover every inch of Lake Martin's 880 miles of shoreline to find your family's dream home. Amanda's experience is top-notch, and she is consistently a top 10 RE/MAX agent in the state of Alabama. Her love for her clients is sincere and from the heart. Call her today at 256-749-6634 or visit her website, amandascroggins.com today.
Medicine Express Family Pharmacy, located conveniently at the corner of Airport Drive and Highway 280 in Alexander City, offers friendly service, convenient drive-through service, and can answer any questions on prescriptions and vitamins. Local family owned with 30-plus years of pharmacy experience, they also offer compounding services, which includes personalized hormone replacement, therapies, and pain gels. And they accept most insurance and discount cards. Go see them today at Medicine Express Family Pharmacy.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed